Welcome back. My name is Mark Anthony Dubo Jr. I was born July 4th, 1986. I want to say thank you for tuning in. Today, I want to talk about something that I think is fascinating. It comes down to something that working with these dogs that I don't really like doing. But in reality, I've come to realize if I want to continue to keep on going further and further into trying to help folks with your dogs, I have to do this. And that's the concept of showing off. I don't like showing my dogs and the main thing is put the pressure on not only just me, but the pressure on them to look away, to be away. But then I realized something that is straight up. I don't have pressure to do what I do with any of these videos I do with any of my dogs. This is just living, this is just life. This is the thing that I believe that there's trainers for specific things. And for me, there's the one thing that I know how to be able to help people out with, and it's not for everyone. And there's some people that you straight up just how I know how human beings are. You need balanced training to be able to get what you're looking for from your dog. You need not even balanced. You need straight up forced style training to get the dog to do what it is that you're looking for. It's gonna sound messed up for me to say that, but I know how this world is. Some people, not you, but some people, might be you watching this video. You might need it because you don't want to do anything with the dog, but just have the dog. Some people have dogs, and some people like to do stuff with their dogs. I'm the person that does stuff with their dog. I go places with my dogs. I like taking my dogs out. I like interacting with them. I like hanging out with them. I like cooking with them. I like eating with them. I like just doing stuff with them. I like being around and just hanging out. So if that's what you're looking for from your dog, that's the approach that I'm going to be able to give you. But if you're a person that's like, I got a dog and I just want a dog. I don't want to do nothing with the dog. I don't want to interact with the dog. I don't want to play with the dog. I don't want to speak to the dog, but I want the dog to perform and look perfect and be a statue inside of my home. What I talk about, you are going to get zero results. Zero. Not even like 10%, but zero. Because what I talk about, you have to do what I'm going to say is in reality, kind of not up front, yeah, a lot. But for the remainder of the dog's life, you have to put a lot of input in here. You gotta get up, you gotta make it happen. It's all on you. It's not on anybody else. You have to put the effort in. You don't have a choice to just skip it. I'm too tired and whatever, blase, I can't, I'm this. You gotta just get up and do it. So yes, there's always, I'm gonna say at the end of the day, gonna be a need. This is why some people are just so in your feelings about me coming out to try to be in competition. I'm in competition with my own self to see my dogs. The one dog that it's not a show, not anything, is my Johnny. He's the one that's letting me know what I'm doing. I rarely even talk about the dog because he's the one behind closed doors that is giving me the results that I'm looking for. This Dalmatian, I don't care. I'm sorry, I like you, girl. But as far as the results I'm looking for what it is that I do, what I talk about, her, it's gonna be good. My Pyrenees, all my other dogs, gonna be good. It's this dog here that has been the biggest challenge because he's the one that I was scared of. He's the one that I needed more pressure because I was nervous about what it is that he would do to me. I was nervous about what it is that he would do to another dog. I was nervous of what he would do even to my daughter, for instance. I was always sketched out. That's why he would always be locked up when my kid is around because I was always nervous of this dog. And he's the one that I'm looking at is saying, I know what I'm talking about is very, very valid to be able to get someone in a good place. But it's to someone that wants to do stuff. It's not to someone that just wants to be able to just say, sit down to the dog and it just sits no matter what. I don't care. I said, do it. You better do it and shut up. And I don't care what you think. And I don't care what you feel. You better do it. You need a balanced trainer. What I'm saying to you is not going to benefit you at all. So for me, how I like to say, show off. That's why there's one trainer that I don't care. He gets a lot of backlash nowadays. He's not the what do you want to say, the celebrity on the YouTube yet. I believe at some point he will be. But Mr. Jedi Dog Master, his Dog Master Challenge, when he was talking about that and still talking about that, it really gets me to just really understand where's your stuff at to be able to validate what it is you're saying is of any value. Where is your stuff at to show that you are, what I'm going to say, competent at doing what it is that you're able to do? That's why for me, at the end of the day, when someone says trainer, I use that word because that's what people just understand of it. But for me, my primarily goal is to get a dog, it's exercise, it's work, it's game, and get it to be able to calm down. That's all that I care about. So when I think of trainer, I'm thinking of someone that's like doing an agility course, someone that's doing tricks, someone that's putting on a show, someone that's doing competitions, someone that's doing just teaching the dog how to hunt rabbits or hunt squirrel or hunt pigeons and doves, and teaching the dog how to bite stuff and teaching dog how to just do stuff like that. That's training. But when I really realize is majority of training is not what people are looking for inside of their home with their dogs. They're looking for just a calm dog that they could just be able to communicate to. And that comes down to just doing stuff with the dog. Doing stuff in a way that you can't just slack up on it. You got to put the work in. You have to perform. You can't just, I don't feel like it. You have to be able to understand that the dog is individual and it has needs that it needs to be met. And that's when you don't need equipment, tools, pressure. You don't need anything to be able to get the dog to be able to function for you. Because there's one thing that I think a lot of people are really struggling with right now. And that's the concept of what type of relationship that I want with my dog. And I've been thinking about this. I thought about this yesterday and today on a nice long walk. I'm not raising a child. My dog is not my fur baby. My dog is not a human. My dog, I'm not going to relate to my dog and working with it as being a child in any sort of way. Because that's what I believe is messing most people up today. You're humanizing a dog, and it's a dog. It's a dog. I hope that everyone understands that. It's a dog. It's not a child. It's not a baby. It's not a human. And it never will be that. I don't care how much similarities and characteristics they're like us. They are not us. We are separate beings. So when I look at it in a way of understanding what it is of the old school term that people used to put on the dog is man's best friend. My dogs are my friends. They're not my children. When I look at my relationship like that, I see something completely different. That I don't need to do most of the stuff that everyone is saying I need to get done with my dog. Because most of the training is coming towards of teaching the dog as if it's a child. And it's not. It's a dog. So when I look at it in the sense of, it's my friend. It's my buddy. Let's go do stuff together. Let's go have fun. That's why the part with me is always going to be, let's go do stuff. Let's have fun. Let's go places. Let's interact. Let's play. Let's do stuff. That's what we do with our friends. With our children, we somewhat play with them, but in reality, straight up, most cases, it's a nuisance to try to play with your kids. It's like, man, this is a drag. Like, I don't want to be at this park all day. You're running, doing this, and I just want to go home. But when you bring your friends around and you're hanging out with your friend, you could do that all day long in reality. You could have a good time all the time. But there's a big difference in how you're going to treat your friend as opposed to teaching your child. Yes, I'm going to say no to the kid. You never this, you're no good type language of trying to say, so-called, keep the kid safe. But try to do that with your friend, and you're going to realize that your friend is not going to want to be anywhere near around you. And that's the complications I see is going on with a lot of people. They're treating the dog as if it's not a dog. And you're not treating the dog in the sense that it should be treated. When you talk to your friend, you're going to want to figure out what that friend is actually wanting is too. It's not always about what you want to do. Sometimes your friend wants to do something that your friend wants to do. So that's where I look at it, same way with the dog. Sometimes the dogs want to do what they want to do. Right now, my dogs, they're around my old beat up Jeep right here, and there's probably a mouse or something in there, and they're just doing what they want to do right now. I'm not telling them no, I'm not restricting. They get to do whatever the heck they want to do. They have times during the day and then times that we do stuff together. Times that we do this stuff together, such as I'll be standing there and I have my little BB gun and trying to help them do that. It's just they like doing that. I'm still not 100% into the whole hunting stuff, but they really like it. So I get engaged and I do it with them. And then there's times that I want to do some stuff. I want to go over there. I want to sit on the patio and just relax. And I can see they're like, I kind of want to do something. I'm like, no, right now we're just relaxing. And it's something that I want to do. So we're working back and forth based on that. Not me saying you only get to do everything that I'm looking for, everything that I want, everything that I desire. Even at the end of the day, that is a horrible way to raise a child. And unfortunately, a lot of children are raised that way. You got to do what I tell you to do, and you can't be yourself. That's a horrible. You're going to end up with a depressed, anxiety-ridden, just PTSD child. A child that doesn't know who it is, a child that's always nervous, a child that's always going to be needy, a child that just won't know how to grow up and do its own thing. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. But dogs, we can't teach and treat the dogs that way. I want my dog to be my how I say it, I don't know how else to say it, but they my homies, man. That's what I straight up say when I look at them. Come on, homie, let's go do something. That's how I talk to my dogs. I'm not like, get over here, you better sit, you better no, let's homies, let's go for a run. Let's go for a walk. Let's go check out these mice. Let's go move the cows. Let's go move the chickens. Let's go do something. Let's go make something happen. Let's go for a walk. Let's go to the lake. Let's go for a swim. Well, I don't swim, but they swim. And I allow them to do all that. That's how I look at my relationship with them. And when you're looking at it that way, there's nothing to really get in the way of like said they're really doing wrong. And this is the part that I can upgrade my friend's experience, where my friend likes to chase squirrels in the wild. And I can say, oh man, I know you like to chase, but let's go ahead and, oh, this is a perfect way of saying it, especially when it comes down to some friends. This is what I used to do back in the days that, I ain't gonna say this, but I said this, do a whole lot of street racing. Like, of course your friend loves to street race. Let's go to the hangouts at night. Let's go line this up. Let's go do this. But I'm gonna say to my friend, because I'm like, buddy, I like you a lot. And if you go out there and street race, you might the law is gonna get caught up on you. I mean, you could die. Like, it's dangerous. That's some dangerous, sketchy stuff. I know you like doing that, but let's go to the goat kart place. They got this new one. It's indoors. The carts even go 100 miles an hour. They have a huge course. Let's go there and do that. And we could do that for hours and hours and hours. And we're never gonna get into a situation. Never say never could die on this thing like that. But you're in a way safer situation, way less risk, and we can keep going and have fun and go all out and go all nothing to be looking over our shoulder for. We could just have a blast. So we go do that instead. So that's what I do with my dogs. My dogs, I want to go chase that squirrel. I'm like, oh, let's go get the flirt pole going. Let's go get the lure course set up. Let's just hook you on the harness and let's just go flat out run. You just drag me, girl. Just drag me. Because soon enough, I'm gonna make a little cart so she can just drag the cart around. This girl gonna be using for some work here soon enough. But I want to get all my dogs pulling carts. I don't know why I think that's fascinating, but it's just something cool about what dogs are capable of being able to do. But that's safe. Going out and chasing the rabbit in the wild, chasing the squirrel in the wild, that could set us up for an extreme level of danger where you could die, and or I could die, and or we could both end up in a situation that we can't even do this anymore because we got hurt so bad. And that's how I'm going to view things with my friends. I know you want to do this, but let's do this in another way that, we could just really let it all out and have fun and not have anything at all to worry about. Just go 100%. And when I'm able to do that, my friendship, my bond gets better. We look at each other in a way of, I don't know how this is. We'll be fine. I don't even care. We'll be looking at each other in a way of like, wow, buddy, you really looking out for me. You know I like this racing stuff, and you took me somewhere to be able to do that. And he even bought me a membership plan so that we can just constantly keep on going, and we could just keep making that happen. I'm like, yeah, man, I got you. Now my friend's gonna look at me and say, man, I appreciate you even more. Now that you've done that for me, let me do something that you also want to do. I know you like those walks, but I don't really care for them all that much, man. But I'll go and do that for you. I'll make it happen for you. I'll be out there, I'll suck it up, and I'll bring my water along, and I might have to bring me an energy drink or four, and I'll be out there and I'll do that with you. And I'm not even gonna complain about it. I'm just gonna go and do that with you because you're doing this with me. And now we're working back and forth with each other. Now we're doing everything, bouncing and understanding each other's needs of what we're looking for and what we desire. And the coolest part about it is the fact that I'm able to still give them and more because I'm able to just say logically think things through to be able to give them the best possible. And that's going to make us to get closer and closer and closer. My dog is not a child, is not a kid, because in reality, the way that we treat our kids is going to be, in a way, it's nowadays kind of not for everyone. There's something wrong with some folks. There's a guy I watched that says some stuff. He's got to make disclaimers on all his videos. I'm not saying all. I'm just saying some and most and this. I'm not saying all. So you come and try to attack me because you do what's right and you think that I'm attacking you with what I'm saying. I'm not saying all. I'm just saying most of what's going on. Most is what I always say in every video. Most people, most trainers, most things. I'm never going to say never, no one does this and all do this. But most of what goes on is we don't care about what that other thing needs. We don't even care about what our kids actually desire. You're trying to set the kid up for just, you do what I tell you to do. You do what I tell you to do because that's what I think is what's best for you. As opposed to asking the child what is actually best for that child. You do what I tell you to do. And that's devastating. And that's why, for me, at the end of the day, why I train and I do what I do with my dogs to be able to get the results that I'm able to get. With every single video of mine, everything that I do, everywhere that I go, I'm able to just show them in a way that I don't need to like set it up. It just is what it is. Because that's the real life of what's actually going on. And some other people are able to do that. But the main thing is, most of the critiques, they got nothing to be able to even compare. All they have are words. They got words saying what could be, what should be, what is, and how this is, and how that shouldn't be, and this is what I do, and this is how my dog is. And it's like, let's see it. Because if you're able to do something that is able to benefit so many people need you right now. Because so many people are struggling right now. So many people are just in a dire need of extreme assistance. And it's not even a matter of you sitting there having to post all your stuff. You know, this stuff is all marketing in a way. And just not for what I know that how I'm able to help people, I don't have anything added extra to try to sell to you. But if that's what you do, you're like, well, I got the expertise touch to be able to get you here, get you there, then put it out there so people can actually be able to learn something, to be able to figure out how to get to that next step to find that real help. Because there are millions and millions and millions of people all around this world that need some real help right now. They struggling. They struggling. They struggling so much that they don't know what to do, nowhere to go. And the problem is, there's some people that are struggling that actually want to get help. But the main thing is the help that they're getting is not what their lifestyle is like, what they're all about. My lifestyle with my dogs is to do stuff with them. If you do not want to do stuff with your dogs, please just exit my channel. Don't come back and don't give a crap about anything that I have to say. Just leave. Just go away. Just leave. Just go far away. I am not the person that's going to say how to be able to get it, because this is what I used to do. And I can't do it. It doesn't sit in my stomach right, and my morals and my ways of being, my ethics don't fit right. I used to go into people's homes to shut the dog, to get to say, sit down, shut up, lay on the place bed, and don't move. That's my so-called mind exercise and exercise to the dog. Exercise, walking around the block, and the mind game is to get it to stay on the place bed for 14 hours a day. That's just what a lot of people want. And a lot of people that want that, keep doing what you're doing. You are not going to get help with your dog by listening to me at all. You got to want to do stuff. You got to want to go to the parks. You got to want to be able to interact with people. You got to be able to want to interact with other dogs. You got to be able to want to get up and go out and expose yourself to the world, your dog to the world, and make something of that. This isn't, I'm not just a person that's just, I live in the house and I never leave. No, I'm outside. I'm outside even when I'm home. When I'm home, I have times that I'm doing stuff and the dogs are with me. That I'm like, you're consciously with me. I'm out there like earlier, just moving the hay bale, getting the fence off around it, allowing the cows, they're with me. You guys are with me right now. You can't just go off and do what you want to do. We're together. And then there's times like now that I just open the front door up and just say, y'all go in the front yard or the backyard. The same way my house is most people outside, if you live in an apartment, you know, that kind of sucks. But I'll say get into a house. Houses are the same price as your apartment. I guarantee you that, because I never lived in an apartment because it just didn't make sense, because I was always able to find a house that was the same cost, if not less. Granted, you got to cut the grass. Granted, there's some things you gotta do to keep up with it. But I'm telling you, it's such a better lifestyle. But I open the door to just say, y'all in the backyard. Y'all could go in the backyard and do what you want to do right now. I'm not here to limit you. I'm not here to shut you down. I'm not here to say anything to you. You just go in the backyard. But you're not going to be barking at nothing. You're not going to be going crazy at nothing. There are those rules. But just go and sniff and chew and pee and roll and dig, and not too much to dig. You could dig at one spot. Do what you want to do. And they just have their time to just do what they do. And then I have times like that I go out in public that I also have them do that. That y'all can go over here, you stay here, you could do what you want over here. And for most folks, that's like a dog park. You go, do what you do what you got to do. Now come back. Now we're going to go off and we're going to go do this together. Understanding that that dog has something that it needs to do. It's got to get out. It needs to make happen. And that's the friendship on why and how you're going to be able to have a really, really nice dog. A really nice dog. A dog that you're just going to never want to give up on. Because I'm already, unfortunately, looking at all my dogs today, realizing that I'm going over that halfway hump in age with all. I don't know what the age of 3 of them are, but I'm going over that halfway. You know, I'm just putting that an average of what, 12, 14 years. So I'm hitting that point of, I'm about halfway in it. And I'm already like, man, these dogs, they're going to die before I die. This might sound messed up, but hopefully, hopefully they go before I go. I'm not trying to go anytime soon. But they gonna go, and it hit me yesterday. I'm just laying in bed looking at my Johnny man like, man, we've gone through so much. And one day I'm gonna have to bury you out here. And it's just it's devastating when you're in a position that your dog is your best friend. That did you get the mouse out? That they're there with you because of they want to be there with you. And I'm there with them because I want to be there with them. And we want to learn more about each other. We want to get more activities together. We want to explore and experience even more together. And it's a beautiful experience to be able to have. So that's the type of animal trainer. I'm not only just, I mean, I help out chickens, I help out cows, I help out donkeys, I'll be getting horses, because horse training is what I first got into. But the main thing is that's how I look at it. That's why at the end of the day, there's always going to be a need for force trainers, balance trainers, and force positive only. There's going to be a need for that, because some folks just you just want the dog. You want the dog because it's I don't like putting it like this, but straight up, it's like the purse. It's like the accessory. It's like it should just function. It should just be good. And for me, that's not what I'm about. That's not how I work. And when I meet someone that's like that about the dog, I deny my services straight up. If you do not want to put the time in that's required to be able to work with these dogs, that's why everything I do up front is always free. Because if you do not want to put the time in required that you have to put in with the dog, what I do is pointless for you. What I talk about is pointless for you. I'm a person that I'm gonna go fishing with the dogs. I'm gonna go trailing, hiking with the dogs. I'm gonna go running with the dogs. I'm gonna take the dogs to the store. I don't really take them in the stores too often, but I take the dog to the store. If I needed to and wanted to, I don't take them in the food places just because it's just not. That's just weird to me personally. But if I wanted to, I could. And I take my dogs and I do stuff with them, a lot with them. We hang out quite a bit together. I'm in the house where we're just chilling. We're watching videos and interacting and playing with them and just doing stuff. That's what I do. And that's how and why I believe that I'm able to get success with my dogs. Because I'm not just putting them off in the corner and saying you better be good. No, I'm the one that's in control of if they're going to be good or not, based on what it is that I want to do to be able to satisfy the needs of that dog. And that's why, for me, at the end of the day, I don't train my dogs. And yes, I'm not the classic dog trainer. I don't teach tricks. I don't even teach commands too much. I teach a down and I teach a wait. That just wait, not a wait, but wait. That's all that I say that I put into the dogs. But it's for what I would say is just pictures, straight up. I'll just say wait, so I can take a picture of them. I'll say down, so I can take a picture of them. That's about it. Like it's not for functioning items. It's just because. For function, I always work on calm. When my dog is calm in the house, I can open the door and they're not going to run out. When they're calm in the house, I can or in the van, I can open the van and they're not going to run out. They're not going to run away. They jump out, they get right next to me, and they just stand next to the van and hang out. They're like, oh, where are we going next? I don't need to train any commands to get them to be functional in my day-to-day life. I just get them to be calm. And I focus primarily all on that. And that's why for me, I've been challenging and pushing it as long as possible to never even do a single command with the Dalmatian, of seeing, when do I need this or do I just want this? So lately I've been teaching her down, and she's actually getting pretty good with that, I will say. But it's fascinating today of teaching down, because now she just does it based on she wants to please me because I'm pleasing her. So she's just like, okay, I'll do it. And then she gets up and like, oh no, actually let's get back down. And she's like, oh, okay. And then we're there calm, hanging out, just in the house, just looking at her like, oh, okay, cool. Let's get up and let's go do something else now. And it's nothing hostile. I don't need no treat to convince her. I don't need no pressure to force her. We just do it. We just have a good time together. And that's how I personally work with dogs. I'm not here to make the dog to be obedient. I don't need functioning obedience on my dogs to get my dogs to look and perform still. That's the part of showing off that, unfortunately, I have to do. I can show off these dogs to bring them places for someone that has the best obedience on their dogs. I promise you my dogs will look better. They will look better. They'll function better. They'll move better. They'll be easier to listen to me. They're just going to be an all-around better dog. All around more chill, more relaxed, more just hang out dog. They're going to be a way better dog than a dog that has to be in a specific command to be able to be out in public doing what it's doing. My dogs are going to outshine them and no commands. I'm going to say heel and the dog's going to like mosey along and like, is this what you're looking for? It's just going to stand there and hang out. Whereas your dog that needs the obedience is going to have to sitting there all anxious, all excited, all worried. And then the first time it sees something that's moving, it's like staring. I see y'all with y'all dogs out there. A lot of these trainers' dogs and a lot of pet owners' dogs. I see these dogs out in public all the time. Seeing two of them today. I see them all the time, super anxious, super on edge. The dogs are just like, what's coming, what's coming? And my dogs are just hanging out, just chill. But then I can activate them to get them to, I'm telling you, this Dalmatian is impressive, man. Her hyperdrive, man. She is way over what this Border Collie is. I thought my Border Collie had some high energy. I thought he was high energy. But this Dalmatian, she makes him look like he's just slow motion, man. She makes him look like he's nothing. She makes all my dogs across the board look like they're just nothing. She is impressive. I mean, these guys are already disengaged with this mouth stuff. They're tired. They're rolling, hanging out. She's still engaged. She's like, I'm still gonna keep going. She could just keep going and going and going and going. And she's powerful. But yet I could put her on a leash, put her on a flat collar, take her anywhere, and she's just hanging out. Hanging out. Completely hanging out. Just chill. She doesn't know sit. She still doesn't really know down. I got to do all the hand gestures with it. She don't know heel. She don't know focus. She don't know nothing. Nothing. And she's going to, I guarantee you, outperform most all, especially just straight up dog trainers. Y'all dogs, when you take your dogs anywhere. Because I could do it for hours and hours and hours in a day. I don't have to need a breakout session. I could just do what I do for hours. I could walk on a heel position with my Shepherd and my Dalmatian for hours. Hours. Not no 2, 5, 10, 15, 20 minute hours. Because we're just hanging out. We're calm, we're chill. That's what I focus on. I don't focus on trying to get the dog to get into something that is uncomfortable for it to be able to just perform for me. No, I go play the games. I go get the activities. I go do that with my dogs so that they can look at me and say, okay, I'll do that with you. I know you want to go for this 4-hour walk right now. Okay, I'll walk with you. You know, it's a trade-off because the other time you got the lure course out, you got me running, you gave me all that. They're like, oh, okay, cool. So we're working in tune as being friends together, not my slave. My dogs are not my slaves. My dogs are, at the end of the day, this is a good word to use, is a tool. But nowadays, people abuse that word because tools, in the true representation of it, we work on our tools. We do maintenance on our tools. We fix our tools. We do a lot with our tools. We appreciate our tools. We put our tools up. We keep our tools safe. We do a lot. That's how I am with not all my tools. I got some that are just, but most of my tools are like that because I want to have them and keep them for decades, long time. I don't want to just go buy a screwdriver and have to keep buying a new one every weekend and just start abusing it and using it in a way that you're not supposed to. No, I'm going to get a pickaxe if I need a pickaxe. I'm going to get an axe if I need an axe. I'm going to get a shovel if I need a shovel. I'm not going to start to misuse things to start to abuse it and mess it up. And that's what, unfortunate, how most people use tools today. But I'll say that my tools today are very, very, very functioning. And I appreciate them, I cherish them, and I care a lot about them. So that's something that I want to say about what it is that I do with these dogs is I don't even have to show off what I have. I just live with them to be able to show what they do. And that's what I have is what I'm able to be able to help people replicate with understanding that you got to do stuff with your dog. You got to get up, you got to do stuff with them. You got to make stuff happen with them. You got to interact with them. You got to play with them. You got to figure them out. You got to listen to them. You got to be able to communicate to them. And then you're going to realize your life is just perfect. Thank you. This thing's telling me my battery is dying on my microphone. Somehow I guess I forgot to plug it in. But it's just something that I do know at the end of the day. There will always be a need for compulsion-based dog training because there will always be a person that views the dog as an item and not an individual being. And I will always be here for someone that wants to be able to understand how to treat the dog as the dog that it is, an individual being. I'm here for that. I'm not here to get you to learn how to control your dog, how to manage your dog, how to influence your dog. I'm here to work with your dog so that we could be a teammate, so that we could be a good friendship, so that we could be able to learn how to effectively communicate, so that we could have a good time and just do stuff together. I am all about doing stuff with my dog. I don't know. It's fun, man. It's the coolest thing to be able to load the dog up in a van, go somewhere and know that everything's good. I got nothing to worry about out here. And that takes doing stuff over and over and over and over again every day. Working and working and working and playing and interacting and making stuff happen. Going for walks, going for runs, getting them to chase, getting them to play, doing stuff. And you're going to see an absolutely incredible dog. An incredible dog.